Welcome. And in this edition of RCS Creators, we're talking WebViews. WebViews, WebViews, WebViews. WebViews is a much anticipated feature for RCS. WebView allows you to pop up a browser inside of the text messaging application in order to perform other actions. Maybe it's authentication, maybe it's a checkout, maybe that's something that needs to be secured over SSL. So we're going to walk through how to do that. Set those up and show you what an example of a WebView is all about. Very excited to show this. This is something that we've been waiting for and being able to go kind of general availability. And the innovation that can happen with these WebViews is going to be very interesting to see because I think there's a lot that's possible. So first thing we're going to do is we are in a canvas here on the native message platform. We have an RCS channel set up. So let's go in and dive in and create this rich card. So first thing to do, let's rename this. Let's just call this WebView. Next, let's add an intent so we can kick this off. So we're going to just use the typical NM start event, hello, start, different types of things that can start this interaction inside of the inside of the RCS channel. And now we're going to add the rich card. So let's call this WebView experience. Here is an example of WebView options. Let's upload a piece of media to make it a little more interesting. And now we get into the button section. And this is where we have a number of buttons that we can add in. So the first one, let's call it just Learn More. And we're going to add the URL option. And now what you'll see is when this, let's add a destination. Let's just take them to nativemessage.com to learn more. But now we can select, and what we have here are two different targets. We have either the regular browser, and that's how it works today, or we have the WebView, which will enable this pop-up. So if I click on WebView, I have three different modes. It can either be in half, tall, or full. So half is half, full is the full kind of text messaging app, and tall is about 3/4. So we're going to do this one in half, and let's just say that's the learn more part. So now we have our first button called learn more. Let's add a second one. We'll call this login. So this would be if I was in an experience, I had to authenticate someone, I could push them out to a web page, authenticate them. After that authentication happens, we can call a webhook or push an API call back to send them an RCS message and say, hey, you've been verified. I know who you are. And now we can proceed from there. The nice thing about that, none of that personal information needs to transport over RCS. It can all happen through the secure channels it does today. Tokens are passed server to server on the backside, and then you can proceed with your account from there. So let's just let's go app.nativemessage.com for that example. Again, we'll go WebView. And in this one, maybe we'll go tall. So we'll show you what the 3/4 mode looks like. In the last one, we are going to go checkout. Let's simulate what possibly a checkout could look like, right? Maybe I've gone shopping through RCS. I've done a bunch of product selection. I populated my cart. Now, in order to do the credit card transaction, I want to push them over to my e-commerce platform and allow them to do checkout from there. I do have a URL here I'm going to post in, which takes someone to a Stripe checkout page. Put that in there. We will go WebView and let's go full. Let's put this one in full and this one called checkout. Okay, so now I have a very simple rich card made, 3 different button options, 3 different WebView heights. Let's just test this, make sure this looks good here. Learn more, login, checkout. Okay, so now we go and we publish this. And so now this is live. Let's pull in a test phone device in order for you to see what this looks like. And here I have a test phone. This is on the native message 2 test agent. If I hit hello, the message comes back and you can see here is this message. It says RCS business messaging. Now I have 3 different options here. So let's look at the learn more. Clicks up the half view. Here I can scroll and see what native message looks like. So you can see it's inside of the the text messaging application. It didn't take me out. It didn't take me over to Chrome in this instance. It left me in there. I can close that out and I can continue with my conversation. Next, we could go to login. Now you can see here, we have a login application. So now I can log in, enter my credentials, and then be authenticated, close this out, and then move on to my next RCS interaction. Or I could go checkout. So here, a full checkout. I've done something. I've gone through an experience or a user journey, and now I want to get the payment. You can utilize your same payment structures that you have right inside of the text messaging app without having to move. Close that out, and then you can see. So 3 different examples: half mode, tall mode, full mode, all inside of the text messaging app, allowing you to merge now RCS business messaging or RCS for business and your sensitive, high secure web applications inside of the same channel without having to move back and forth. Obviously, a very unique feature, a very powerful feature. A lot of innovation will happen over this, but I thought this was something good to run through with you today and show you how this works in a very simple example. All this can be enabled through an API as well, so it's not just stuck to building this through a user interface. So that is nice, quick and short and sweet. RCS creators, WebView. If you have any questions, please let us know. Comment in the RCS creators community, and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you very much. Bye.